Dear students, in this video lecture, I'm going to cover three more diseases, which are very small ones, according to at least by NCERT textbooks. So there are three diseases. The very first one is Ascariasis. See, this Ascariasis is caused by a pathogen or an intestinal parasite called Ascaris. Okay, they're not protozoans, but they are worm-like platyhelminths. Okay, so they are all belonging to animal kingdom. These Ascaris parasites are the ones which can be transmitted through the air, especially. You can see the pathogens, when they lay eggs of the parasite, are excreted along with the fecal matter of an infected person, and this eggs of these parasites started to contaminate the soil, water, and plants. If a healthy person acquires this infection through the contaminated water, especially if you consider like a typical place like a village background where there will be a pond where every person will be using that pond for different varieties of things. Some people use it for drinking water, some clean the clothes, sometimes some bath, and sometimes even cleaning the excreta, I mean like the hands, like, so that these infected person can leave these eggs of this parasite into the water, and someone takes the water to clean vegetables or like fruits. If the person eats the fruits or vegetables, especially fruits, then that person may acquire this Ascaris. You see here the symptoms includes internal bleeding, internally like small gets infected and start bleeding, and muscular pain, the body aches, fever, anemia. Anemia means loss of uh, loss of blood, especially RBC count, and blockage of the intestinal passage. So because it is related to digestive system, right? You see here in this cycle, you can see both the male and female bodies present in the small intestine, they undergo reproduction, referring preferably the sexual reproduction. The small intestine becomes host for production of these eggs. Okay, and when they leave these, when they excrete outside the toilet, these gets fertilized, and then they will be staying in the water or the soil, and they are ready to be infected. If a person plays in on the ground, this fertilized eggs can be taken into the healthy person. What they do, they'll go into the body, and these small inconspicuous eggs will be settled in the small intestine, and they continue to grow into these worm-like structures, and the rest of the cycle continues. This is Ascariasis. Then here comes the next one called Filariasis. Okay, so Filariasis is caused by two pathogens. One is Wuchereria bancrofti. Let me zoom a little here. Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malai, bancrofti malai, and the genus name is Wuchereria. The pathogens are transmitted to a healthy person through the bite of a female mosquito. Remember, the same mosquito, the mosquito is the responsible one for transmitting the malarial disease causing organism that is called Plasmodium, and same way the female mosquito is even transmitting another disease called filariasis or the filaria. What happens if a person acquires this pathogen? Symptoms. The filarial worms cause a slowly developing chronic inflammation. Inflammation means swelling. Try to understand. Inflammation means swelling. So what it will do is it will swell the organs in which they live, and it will stay for many years. Especially the target tissue or organ is lymphatic vessels, especially the lower limbs, especially between the legs. We can call them as groins. Groin is nothing but the place between the legs. And this disease is also called as elephantiasis, or you can elephantiasis preferably because the person's legs appear like an elephant, or wherever it is infecting, the person or the patient's leg appear to be like a elephant, huge. You can see right over here. So let me show you a little further what and where exactly they infect. Let me show you this lymphatic system chart right over here. You see, this is another picture right over here. Even in fact the scrotal sacs, because the lymphatic system is located here, the lymphatic vessels, you see the legs and the scrotal sac even swell. That's why inflammation. You try to understand this picture right over here, this one. You see here, our body is having a system called lymphatic system helping us in defense mechanism. So you can see in lymphatic system they have so many lymphatic vessels, the green thread-like structure, these are vessels, and there you can see the nodes, lymphatic nodes. You try to understand when this filarial worm infects, it will go into and it will cause the inflammation of these nodes. That's the reason why you can see, suppose if it infect these nodes, they start swelling. That means that part starts swelling. If they infect these nodes, you can try to imagine the scrotal sac start swelling or causing chronic inflammation. And inflammation means swelling. That's why the characteristic feature of this disease is having it looks like a huge legs, like legs look like an elephant. Let me show you the life cycle of it, filarial life cycle. Look at here. Filarial life cycle, you can see clearly these worm-like structures start infecting the human being through the mosquito bite. You see, they move to, you can see these are the lymphatic system. Okay, so you can see that is how they can start infecting, forming different infectious stages. And you can see the mosquito takes the blood meal, and these microfilariae shed sheath, penetrate the mosquito midgut, even the same like it infect the mosquito's body also. There is a larval forms becomes active in the mosquito. Again, this larva is injected into the human body. While doing so, the inflammation takes place, swelling. Okay, so you may ask me a question like why it is not infecting the mosquito? Because mosquito is having less bodily organization, like they don't even have a lymphatic system so that they can swell, but humans do. Let's move to the next disease. This is called ringworm. Okay, skin disease especially, or roundworm, you can say. Here this is caused by fungi. Try to understand. Skin diseases, most of the skin diseases caused by fungi. What kind of fungi? They belong to a genus called Microsporum. Very important. One more questions. Microsporum trichophyton genus. They are not species name. And epidermophyton are the three different types of genus, including different species which can cause the skin diseases, especially the ringworms. Okay, so now let's see the symptoms of them. Appearance of dry scaly lesions like a patch on various parts of the body such as skin, nails, even our head part like scalp are the main regions of the symptoms. Okay, these lesions accompanied by intense itching, it feels like you need to itch, keep on itching. Heat and moisture help these fungi to grow, which makes them thrive in skin folds, like you can consider like the folds between the fingers, under arms, like armpits, between the groin, between the legs, and even toes. These are the best place for the fungi to grow. And these ringworms generally acquire from soil or by using, you see, towels, clothes, or even the comb of infected individual. So that means these fungi can be spreading from infected persons day-to-day life utensils like towels, like if a person, healthy person wears infected person's clothing, apparels, or towels, even comb also can carry that pathogen from infected person to a healthy person. Let me show you one picture I have here. You can see this is how a ringworm look like. It can start spreading, like if it starts scratching, if a person starts scratching, hands act as a like a propellant, like when it starts scratching, they start moving to a new areas, like it will spread across the body. So best advice is to not to scratch and use some antifungal ointments which are commonly available in the market, and it will stop the spread, eventually killing the fungi. Okay, so these are the some of the diseases which we can cover in this period, and I think we've finished major infectious diseases so far. Let's revise here. Ascariasis is caused by Ascaris, a worm-like structure contaminated by soil, water, especially through the excreta. If this excreta contain these pathogens mixed with water and soil, it even can infect the healthy person if the same person uses that particular food material, water or soil. These are some of the symptoms. Filariasis is caused by Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malai, where again mosquito being the vector which can transmit, and it causes the chronic inflammation of the lymph nodes or lymph vessels, swelling. That's the reason it is called elephantiasis. Even genital organs also gets infected. And then skin diseases like ringworms caused by genus fungi Microsporum, Trichophyton, Epidermophyton causes the ringworms, and they cause the different parts, especially the external body parts, not internally but external body parts like skin, nails, and scalps. And they tend to make the lesions like the patches makes the person to itch more. The more the itching, this more the fungal can spread across the body parts. And definitely someone should avoid using towels, clothes, and even combs of infected person.